Poisson Steve.
Mythra.
Steve Poisson Steve.
We're going to see them start off on small battlefield, and we're going to see Pikz. How are you able to lay in the pressure here?
How are you going to deal with the Steve shenanigans that we've all come to really see and understand at this point in this game's lifespan?
Yeah, we're seeing Pikz do pretty well right now at feinting wall breaks, running up, running away, trying to force out an option from Judd. And Judd very good at using those preemptive minecarts. We see that he's very, very confident at just laying it rip, and if you break the wall, get hit by the minecart, and if you don't, then I'm going to keep mining.
Yeah, so far not looking like one of those Steves that's just content to build walls and sit behind them. Yeah, Judheir is already starting out with some of the Steve wackiness.
Absolutely. We're going to be seeing Judd do really, really well at sort of not letting Pikz play his own game, but we're seeing Pikz try to take an early stock with the early Pyra, and that could be it right here. We're seeing Judd being forced to sort of dance around that huge up air.
Albeit builds a little Thunderdome for himself, but it's not enough.
Yeah, Pikz able to take the stock just by virtue of outranging Steve. I don't care about your blocks. I'll take them out with you.
And on a fresh stock, the switch to Mythra, just so you can keep up that pressure and not allow Judd to really... While Steves are okay just sort of sitting in the corner, you got to do everything you can to make sure they're not like mining.
Absolutely. And we're seeing Pikz, again, do a good job with the wall, not fully committing every single time, sort of picking and choosing your battles. But we might be seeing an early kill from Judd as you take it with the forward air spike into the up smash.
The connection on that is really, really unique, because I had no idea after like the spike hit there. Like, oh, certainly Pikz would be able to like SDI away. But certainly apparently not.
Yeah, and now we're going to see Judd not able to get the combo, but we get the diamond now, and this could potentially be really bad for Pikz. Able to use Pyra just to pressure Steve and put Judd into the corner.
But notice that Judd doesn't have very many resources left, and was very hesitant to build anything in the corner because he noticed all he had was iron and stone.
Absolutely, you start to run out of your anvils, your minecarts, your things that keep Pikz off of you. As, like you said, really, really low on materials, and Pikz is going to try and do everything you can to abuse that as you are fully out of iron, and those are two moves just gone as Pikz takes the stock with the down air into the up air, not letting Judd craft, which is just such a smart idea.
That is huge, especially like to deny them the ability to mine throughout the first little bit. Mind you, probably could have taken it a bit further if I think it's gone a bit better. But now, walking the dog. Everything is awesome.
Yeah,
I was there for that.
Were you really?
I was in the venue. I don't know if I was commentating that, but I was there live for that legendary moment.
Yeah, but we're seeing Judd not able to get any iron, and so that's two moves just gone from your toolkit, and Pikz has just been able to keep the pressure online.
Recovering high so far, Pikz, the Pyra has been working wonders, but you gotta wonder, how is that gonna do against Judheir with a diamond? Something we have yet to see so far in this match.
Yeah, and then the extension off of the back air coming from the minecart just gives Pikz so much more space and control, but the down tilt is going to take it as Pikz takes a fairly confident game one.
Yeah, Judheir got caught trying to force away center stage, and that little roll was just enough. That's all Pikz needed for down tilt up air.
Yeah, Pikz has been doing a really good job at using just the giant sword that Pyra has to be able to just control more space. You typically don't see many characters be able to deal with wall as effectively as Pikz is with cages. But we're going to be going to FD now, so we're actually going to be seeing the shovel for Judd, meaning that his tools aren't going to be as worrisome when it comes to durability for mining.
It's incredible how deep, how like gameplay deep this character gets, that stage selection affects what tools they use more than others.
Yeah, and one thing that we're seeing is Pikz isn't able to, use those platforms as a way to feint approaches as easily. It's kind of just, are you going to commit it or are you not? And I can react to that as we're seeing 3-block wall, 3-block wall. But Pikz, now that you are in, what are you able to do with it? Yeah,
how far can you take it as they're going to dropping TNT to nowhere.
But we are seeing Pikz start to just lay on the pressure now, not quite able to get the footstool as we are even.
Iron tools online, a bar full of resources. Judheir has everything that he needs to just sit, craft, and put Pikz in disadvantage. The back air does it. patented Steve back here with iron.
Yeah, so strong. And speaking of strong, we're going to see Judd not quite able to get the combo, but you are going to be seeing just the damage rack up. And this is so brutal if you're Pikz. You can't let Steve get into this rhythm.
Yeah, when Steves are just sort of putting you wherever they want you to for the next hit, and they're just building around the stage like that, that's where you got to really find a way out and get some space.
Absolutely, but we're seeing Pikz be able to take it as we move on to the second stock. Not letting Judd get too comfy with the resources as you're out of iron. You just lose 2 moves from your toolkit.
Trying to find a way in on Judheir. Still 2 stocks apiece.
Yeah, one adaptation we've been seeing Judd do in this game is it started off with the three high wall, but now you just see Judd start to use more of the single block at your foot, basically just making it, I'm going to use less resources because you aren't letting me get those resources. We're actually going to see the crafting table extend the hitbox slightly of the down air, which is going to make it so that Pikz can't get the conversion off of it.
This is a big moment though for Pikz though, because Judheir does not have any very few resources in the crafting bar.
Absolutely, and that
this is exactly where you want to push the advantage against Steves.
Absolutely, but we see them so even in percent, but the F tilt is going to take it, and Judd just not having all the resources, not able to consistently build up those walls is really hurting them as Pikz is controlling the pace of this game.
Foresight coming in handy, avoiding the anvil.
No jump. Good DI from Judd though.
Now comes the precarious spacing battle that is playing against Steve. There's this defined pocket that we've come to recognize when playing against Steves that is out of a majority of their, out of the range of their boxing options, but also too close for them to do things like minecart.
Yeah, but we're going to see the down smash barely not able to take it, sending to the other side of the stage, and the anvil not going to do it either. Oh, but that should be it.
Yeah.
F smash going to be able to take it, and all of a sudden we see Judd low percent with diamond tools, and you could potentially just be seeing a whole boatload of damage as you have your iron online, you have a full stack of resources, and this is scary.
A boatload of iron too, as well as gold. The only thing he doesn't have is the backup diamond in case. This is where Pikz still has to push the advantage, make Steve use the resources, not let him get any more. It's all, this matchup really just comes down to resource denial.
Yeah, that footstool was almost it, but we're going to see Judd start to get a bit more of a conversion here, and the up tilt barely going to take it as we see Pikz take game 2, and they're going to run it back to FD, they are saying. And this has just been such a good performance by Pikz of, like you said, constantly laying on that pressure, not letting Judd get too comfortable, you know, not too much iron all the time, not too much stone all the time. You're just able to deny these resources, which sometimes will just make it so Judd can't recover horizontally with minecart, can't pressure you in the air with an anvil. It's just so key.
Absolutely. It's sort of the name of the game. As this character, like, from the times of, mind you, kind of still a valid argument to ban the character because you have to do so much and be mindful of just so much when playing against him in order to succeed. But we're seeing Pikz do a great job right here with that.
Absolutely.
Now back on FD, like you said, they just ran it right on back. Judd getting a pretty good start early here, 58 to 19. Looking to open up Pikz, gets him off stage.
Yeah, the anvil barely not able to do it, and we saw Judd almost able to take it, walking him with the minecart. And we're seeing Pikz do a bit of a better job not over-committing. But you are out of iron, though, but you will get some brief moments to collect yourself. Pikz doing a good job laying on that pressure.
Blazing End is a great sort of get away from the ledge tool, especially if like Judheir is trying to build something, some sort of contraption for you to fall prey to. You can just be like, Blazing End, and just like, get away.
Absolutely. But we're seeing Judd do a very good job this game of not over-committing on these advantage states. And the forward air is going to take it with the spike, and this has been one of the few leads that Judd has had all set. However, Pikz is trying to take it right back, laying on the pressure.
But with gold tools and a diamond online, Judheir has a lot at his disposal to further this lead.
Absolutely.
Judheir even further behind.
A bit of an awkward position for Pikz, and now it's starting.
It's begun. It's begun.
Oh, barely not able to deny the recovery. And we saw Judd charge that down smash, and we're going to see Pikz take it with the up air. Judd now going to be able to have diamond tools, but again, Pikz is denying him from crafting, which is just something you don't see too often, and that's a little trick that not a lot of people use, but at the higher level, you start to see it more and more, but the Anvil is going to take it, and now a full stock lead for Judheir.
Keeping up the momentum, keeping up the pressure, 42 and climbing. This is looking like a Judheir game 3.
Yeah, although we are seeing Judd, again, despite being down, Pikz has been able to do a great job at keeping Iron off of Judd, and we could see him possibly take another early stock here.
Yeah, an early stock here would be massive for the game and really huge for Pikz. Ain't no way!
No tech.
Not only mistech on the block, but also that connected and sent at that angle that then bounced you off the block?
Brutal, absolutely brutal. And all of a sudden, we're starting to see a relatively even game. Judd doesn't have any more Iron anymore. However, Judd does have a massive percent lead and could potentially just kill with a back air in the corner.
Pikz almost messed up recovery horribly. It was like, wait, I need my sword to up me.
Yeah, and this is a really, really precarious position. But you're seeing neither of them necessarily overcommit. You're seeing Judd just throw out minecarts to make it awkward. And Pikz really using that side B to make it really, really hard for Judd, you know, to get into a comfortable position.
Yeah, it's sort of the tough part is the inevitability of Steve. It's like already sitting at 100%. Judheir needs to find anything, and Pikz is just slowly climbing back, 94 this time. Just the spacing to avoid that backer was huge for Pikz.
Yeah, using the giant sword, not quite able to get the ledge trump, and this is a really precarious position if you are Judheir. However, that's not going to take it. You get the diamond back online, but Judd doing a great job at not letting him craft. However, Judd is going to get it with the down smash, covering all the options there, and now you're going to be seeing Judd get his first win of the set.
That was pure patience to avoid the sword coming at you. Incredible recovery from Pikz as well to be able to do all that without your sword and still make it back. My gosh, I thought he was dead twice. Judheir just kept calm and collected at ledge, waited, and then lava bucket.
Yeah, even though you get all that damage on you, even though you lose your stock to some unfortunate shenanigans, Judd was able to keep his composure, able to stay in it, and you're going to see Pikz take a deep breath trying to recenter himself for Game 4 as we go back to Small Battlefield.
Yep, games 1 and 2 went so much in your favor. You really played the game plan exceptionally.
But you're going to see Judd just with these up air combos online.
Oh, this could be a brutal start for Game 4 for Pikz. He's got to find a way back.
Yeah, and this is always just such an awkward position. Able to use the TNT to cover everything as Pikz makes it really, really hard to get back.
He can't. There we go.
And Judd is doing an excellent job at pressuring Judd here, but Judd, we almost saw him just take the earliest stock.
But still, you got to give it up to Pikz here to his ability to survive that opening gambit.
Yeah, and we're seeing him claw his way back as we get to an even percent here. And if you're Pikz, you like this percent, you're able to kill maybe with a down tilt up air, maybe with just a standard back air.
No tools online, so Judheir gonna have to craft something.
Yeah, Pikz decided to break the crafting table instead of going all the way out there to try and contest Judd. But your down smash is barely not going to be able to do it. But Judd, again, just without many resources, able to get your iron back, but just not too much. You have to be so careful now.
No wall, but still not afraid to just sort of mine in Pikz's face. Up tilt, reverse up tilt does it off the top. So now how much extra credit do you think Judheir can get? Or sorry, how much extra do you think Pikz can get before he loses the stock?
Yeah, with the way that Judd's trying to pressure him, it might not be too much, but Pikz has just been doing an incredible job at living, switching to Pyra to potentially avoid an attack. However, the minecart is going to take it. Not too much extra credit, and we're seeing Judd get your resources online, and you're going to be seeing the dog being walked now.
Oh, this is
so much damage.
That's a brutal spot to get grabbed from, because you just see how much damage Judheir was able to do simply by walking forward and jabbing. That's the power of gold, baby.
Yeah, it's just so fast. However, the Anvil could have potentially just taken the stock early, and we are now seeing Pikz pushed into the corner, and Judd able to get your resources back online.
Just walking backwards with up tilts, gold up tilts, so menacing. Back air from center stage with gold does it, and just like that, Pikz one stock away from being put in a game 5.
Yeah, you don't want to get reverse 3-0'd here, but it's so hard when you have a character like Steve that's able to just mount so much pressure and able to make these comebacks, and the Diamond is just going to be piling on the damage so quickly, getting lapped in percent now.
That is a very telling mistech on that platform from Pikz, that if we're getting to that point in the set, you just...
The nerves.
Yeah, you got to wonder, is he just sort of relenting to game 5?
Get up attacking the down smash, very good option. But we're seeing Judd throw him back out there. However, the back air barely not going to kill off the top. And the Anvil is going to do it as we enter game 5. Judd possibly mounting a reverse 3-0 here.
As well, one of the faster games of this set too.
Absolutely. You saw Pikz maybe get a little overzealous, trying to mount that pressure, not let Judd get too many resources, but Judd going, I'll beat you without minecart. I'll beat you without Anvil. I'll just try to get those up tilts, get those up airs, get the walk the dog across the stage. Just be able to make the most despite not having the resources that you need as we go to PS2. And we see Judd do a slight little pop off as we go to PS2 as well.
Where do you think Pikz has sort of lost his way in this matchup? Because I'm seeing things such as Judheir is always having a lot more resources in these last 2 games than he did in the previous 2. Is getting diamond tools a lot easier than he did in the first 2 games. What else are you seeing in the way?
So the main thing I'm seeing is that Pikz is doing an incredible job in the early games of keeping up the pressure, but as soon as Judd figured out that I can throw a little bit more preemptive attacks, basically going, I see the angle that you want to attack me at, and I'm going to cut off that angle, which just forces Pikz into a bit more of an awkward game as we're going to see the down smash. This is an early kill from Judd, and this is just such a strong position, but those early preemptive attacks have been the big thing here.
That's just a tough recovery in general. Being all that pressure put on Anvil, you can't really recover through it, so you have to try and go around, and that just puts you right in the spot to get hit with that lava. That's a tough one from Pikz.
Yeah, but we're seeing Pikz try to mount his comeback here. However, Judd is just doing an incredible job. There we saw him, attack Pikz preemptively with the dash attack. And despite not having iron, he's still able to just keep up the pressure on Pikz. Pikz has sort of been forced to throw himself at Judd.
Yeah, and having to do things like up B out of shield to just sort of get Judheir off from smash attack. And you see these sort of, now Pyra's out looking for that kill, looking to really take that stock quickly here.
Yeah, this is starting to get a bit precarious for Pikz as you start to see Judd take the second stop with the redstone minecart, and all of a sudden, this is bad.
It feels like all of the wind has been taken out of Pikz's sails with that minecart. Yeah. But I feel a gust, Callie.
I feel a breeze coming along, and we're seeing Pikz try to do what he can in order to mount this comeback and prevent Judd's reverse 3-0.
Sitting at wood tool still, but has a diamond in the pocket.
Able to
There
grab
it is. That's tough. Now you have to deal with Steve with diamond. Every opening is going to hurt that much more, as we're seeing it right here.
This could be it, though. But great drift going back to the ledge. But Judd is just able to keep this pressure, but you don't have the iron there, and you're not able to Anvil, but not really caring, just saying, I'm going to up air out of disadvantage, and if you get hit by it, you're going to take a whole heck of a loss.
Yeah, knowing it's still Steve with diamond, so even if I don't have iron, I can still contest all of your stuff with my normals.
And that back air is going to take it, and Judheir is going to complete the reverse 3-0 on Pikz. What an incredible performance.
The slow march of the Steve continues, as it was such a hot start from Pikz that then Judheir just sort of turtled up and stayed strong, and eventually knew that, hey, eventually I'm going to start getting Steve stuff.
Yeah, we saw Judd do really, really well at adapting. Like I said before, those preemptive attacks have just been such a big deal. Being able to call out Pikz for playing a little bit slower, being able to breathe a little bit more, and